Welcome to another episode of Recto Resto. On this episode, I drop the subframe off, get it blasted, and get it in epoxy. I took it down to Albany Powder Coaters. They're located on Sanford Road down in Albany. They do all types of powder coating, but they also do sandblasting. So they're happy to do car parts and things like this. So I was really happy with the service down there. So if you're down this way and you need anything powder coated and sandblasted, go and see Warwick and the team down there, and I'm sure he'll be happy to help you out. So you can see behind me, I've got a bit of a makeshift booth set up, and it's all done and it's in epoxy. So you'll see the process involved of how I got it to here in today's episode. A couple of little surprises on it that I didn't know about before blasting, but it's pretty well as I thought. Come around this other side. So there's a few little rust holes through here. So that'll just need a couple more repairs done along that piece. And there's just a couple little pinholes at the back, so we'll just need a couple more repairs around these sections, but other than that, it's pretty good. So first on the agenda is to get some epoxy on this thing, get it sealed off. When you get things sandblasted, you don't have a lot of time before the metal will start to surface rust pretty well instantly. So I'll get some epoxy down on this, get it all sealed off, and then I can go back on the ute.
Why the gloves?
The oil on your hands, if you touch bare metal, it'll create a rust spot pretty well straight away. The oil on your skin just eats into the raw metal, and you'll actually see your fingerprints all over it as little brown rust spots. So whenever you're handling bare metal that's been blasted, always a good idea just to put some gloves on, it'll save that. Just get some blankets over it just until I'm ready to put some paint on. Being winter down here, it's obviously pretty high humidity in the air, so everything surface rusts very quickly. We'll come over here, I'll show you a couple of bits on the frame that I've been working on. So you can probably see it's started to go brown already, and that's only after a few days. This bit over here, same thing. See how it started to go brown. Probably even more noticeable on this piece that I've started. So this is the next repair I've got to do. And as I was saying before, I wasn't wearing gloves here, and you can literally see it's covered in fingerprints where it started to surface rust. So when you're doing things like this and you're about to put paint on it, good idea. This is all going to get sanded back and epoxied anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But something like that I'm about to put paint on, I don't want to get any rust on it. Just getting a few things set up, ready to start painting. One of the first things I'll do is the compressor's been turned on for a bit and I haven't drained the tank. So I'm just going to flick the power off, drain the tank out, get all the moisture out of the tank, and from there I can set up the compressor to start painting. A little bucket under that, and that'll do. Only bad thing about having nice painted floors is when it comes to painting other things, you don't really want to get your floors completely covered in overspray. So what I'm up to here is I've got my camping gazebo. This is a 6 metre by 3 metre gazebo. Just set this up in here, and I've got a drop sheet. I'm just going to put a drop sheet over the ground here, and then I'll probably just I'm not going to completely enclose it. I might just fill in the back 3 sides and make a bit of a makeshift paint booth up. All right, I'll get set up and I'll get stuck into it. My little makeshift booth all set up, so the subframe can just sit right in the middle here. It doesn't matter if a bit of stuff goes that way. I was more just worried about all of these shelves and everything getting absolutely covered in overspray, and obviously the floor. So if I set up here, it should be pretty good. Obviously this epotec doesn't give off too much overspray. It's not like clear and base coats and stuff like that, so I'm pretty confident I should be able to keep it contained within this area. All right, I might get a couple of lights set up under here so I can see what I'm doing. Get this thing hung up and we should be good to go. Got the subframe all hung up in my little makeshift paint booth. Just got a couple of straps going to the outside out there. And I got a couple of bits of stainless steel TIG wire at the back just supporting it. So it should be more than sturdy enough to do what I need to do. I'll start getting all the spray gun set up and get ready to start putting some paint down. Got my spray gun set up, just got a 1.8 nozzle in it. This is just a pretty old gun that I just use for primers and things like that. Should be fine for putting the epoxy down. Once I get the paint in it, I've got to set everything on the gun, pressure wise and everything like that. But I'll get to that once I get the paint mixed up. Got the PPG Epotec Epoxy 408. So this has been sitting for a little while, so it needs a really good mix up. So I'll give this a stir. Once I've got it stirred, just got my paint mixing cup. So it's mixed 4 to 1. So basically 4 parts base and then 1 part of the hardener. All right, I'll keep cracking on. So I've got the first coat of epoxy down. There's a couple little spots that were hard to get that I might have missed, so I'll give it a second coat once this one flashes off. So I'll give it sort of 15-20 minutes and then I'll give it another coat, but it's gone on fairly thick in most areas. It's just the bits sort of underneath which are a little bit harder to get. So what I might even do is leave it hanging on the front, but I'll undo the back ones, and then I can just drop the back down, and then it might make it a bit easier to get underneath it, so I'm not rolling around on the ground. But I don't know if you can hear it, but the floors are now pretty sticky, so this would have gone all over the shed if I hadn't have done this, so it's worked out pretty good. That paint's gone down pretty good. So that's another big job ticked off the list. That's 2 coats now done. I'll let this dry overnight. Once that's dry, I can pull all this down and it's ready to go back on the ute. So yeah, pretty happy to get that one done. While I had some paint mixed up, also come over to the prem and the couple little rust repairs that I'd previously done. So I've just given that just a quick coat over all those areas, up and under there as well. So that just seals all that off, and that's gonna stop that surface rusting anymore. So this piece here, that there, that's all ready for when the beaver goes on. But I've still got some more repairs up here to do before I can get to that. Yeah, I won't go into too much detail for that one because that will be for another video. But with all this ute stuff, we'll get this all chucked back together. We'll get the ute rolling again. And then it makes it a bit easier to move it around the shed. The ute will be going on a bit of hiatus, so I'm just going to put that back together, put it off to the side for now. That means I can focus on the prem. I can get the prem done. Once the prem's done, then I can give the ute a bit of attention. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go running gear wise for the ute, but I'll figure that out down the track, because at the moment my priority is obviously the prem, not the ute. But we'll finish off there. Well, the next video on the ute will be putting the whole thing back together again. So keep an eye out for that one. It should be in the next couple of weeks we'll get that done. So pretty happy with how that's all turned out, considering I haven't done a lot of spray painting before. So you've probably seen in the video, I'm absolutely no pro at it. It's just one of those things I just wanted to get done, so I gave it a crack. I did a little bit of painting on my HK, just like the primer side of things when I was doing that. So I've done a little bit of it, but not a great deal. But I found the best way to learn is just by getting in and doing it. So obviously there's better ways to do things or whatever, but as long as you get in there and you get it done, that's all that matters. But thanks again for watching. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you on the next one when we get stuck back into the HG, putting it all together so it can go off to the side. Thanks again. We'll catch you later.